already 2019, and I'm excited for what this year has in store for me, what it has in store for my family, the things that await us. And although there will be some big improvements this year for us, there's one thing that will be different in my channel. Nothing bad, in my opinion. In fact, I believe it's a good thing. That being said, let me say I am fucking excited to be speaking to the camera again right now. Now, let me explain what I mean when I say changes in my videos or in my channel. What I mean specifically is my use of words, all right? I do believe in being myself at all times, and you should be yourselves at all times without, hurting anyone. Although it's not something I've been doing in my channel for this whole time, right? Not 100% at least. I haven't been myself 100% at least. The reason why I say not 100% is because I'm being myself in my videos. I'm talking about what I believe in. I'm talking about what I think. I'm giving my honest opinion on certain things, but I'm not necessarily being myself in the way I speak. Now, I'm not saying, that I've completely changed the way I speak or whatever for the sakes of my videos. No. But I do cuss sometimes. I'm not no person that cusses all the time, just always throwing a bad word into every sentence. But I do use those words sometimes, sometimes I feel like I express myself better when I use the words that just come up as I'm thinking about what I'm speaking about. I just find it better. But I haven't been doing that on my videos up until now, and that's gonna stop in 2019. I was just I didn't want to cause a bad impression on people. I didn't want to cause a bad impression on some people that don't want to hear bad words. Now, I'm not, my channel is still the same. Like, I'm gonna be, bringing in some good value to everybody that hears my content or that watches my videos, because that's the main point, that's the main idea. Now, if you want to learn, you can stick and watch and listen, all right? The message is always going to be the same. Maybe the delivery on with certain words, it might be different, not necessarily bad, I should say. But that being said, let's get to the first topic of 2019. Alright guys, I had to come to my set here and just finish the video here, but before I finish, I'm gonna talk about a couple things that I feel like are helpful, or at least they help me, so I kind of want to put it out there, being that I know it's already 18 days into 2019, but first let me just say though, I hope you guys have a fantastic, a wonderful 2019 this year. I hope you guys push it. I hope you guys accomplish a lot of things, and I hope that some of my stuff, some of the content that I put out helps you to motivate you or encourage you to actually go through with some of the stuff that you've set for yourself. All right, and I know that it's only a couple of weeks that we're into 2019, but some of you have already fallen off the wagon, and that's all right. That's completely okay. All right, it's all good. Just get back on it. Get back on it. Just get back up and keep pushing it. Keep working at it. If you are setting something for yourself, you need to understand. All right, if you have a resolution or a goal that you set for yourself at the beginning of this year, understand that the only way that that's going to come true is by you putting in the work. No other way. And sometimes it's more difficult than others, but there's just no other way to get it done. Keep that in mind, all right? I want to talk about what I do to make sure that every year coming up is always a great year for me. I know we all have struggles throughout the year, but I want to talk to you guys about how I make sure that every upcoming year, I always, always good stuff happens. Always. All right. I haven't had a bad year ever since I changed my mindset. Ever since I changed the way I think, ever since I changed the way I see things, ever since my mindset went in that, through that shift, I haven't had a bad year. But let me tell you why that is. Let me tell you how I make sure that I don't have any bad years. How I make sure that my year is always good. All right. What I do is, at the end of the year, I prepare myself. All right. At the end of every year, I prepare myself for the upcoming year. All right. Mentally, I prepare myself mentally. I feed myself all this positivity. I talk to myself. I'm always telling myself, all right, this year coming up, man, great things are gonna happen this year. A lot of awesome things, a lot of things that are gonna be good for me, for my health, for my family, for me financially. It's gonna be an awesome year, and I keep feeding myself all this information, all these things that are positive. All right, I get myself into this positive state that this upcoming year, it's gonna be positive, that this upcoming year is going to be a good year for me. You see, a lot of the things that happen to us are not necessarily bad. They're not necessarily negative, but we perceive it that way. We see it as a negative thing. All right. I'm not a negative person anymore. Now I understand that there's challenges, there's struggles in my life that come. I don't always see them coming. And when I do, that's great. But I don't always see them coming. All right. But keeping a positive mind helps me through that stuff. Keeping a positive attitude helps me get through all this stuff, because I don't see them as bad things. We always learn from the struggles in our lives. And I just carry that positivity that I fed myself at the end of one year onto the next year, because I've been telling myself that it's going to be for that year, right? So I just carry it throughout the year. I push it along, and although, for some people it's like, man, that's 365 days. You were just telling yourself these things at the end of one year. How do you carry that momentum? But when you repeat to yourself one thing so many times, it stays in your mind. It engraves in your mind and your brain, and you carry that along with yourself. There are many things that stay in our minds just because they are repeated to ourselves. So if somebody repeats something negative to your mind, if somebody keeps telling you, you're not going to make this happen, you're not going to do this, if somebody keeps telling you, you are not good enough for this, and that's what they feed you the whole time, right? You start to believe that, and it starts to stay in your mind. So when you try to do something, you're like, how can I do that? How can I possibly go through with something like that, something so big like that? But it's just because you've been fed all this negative attitude, all this negativity from other people that just don't want to see you succeed, because maybe they're not succeeding. All right. But whatever you tell your mind, whatever you feed your mind, if you feed it over and over again, it becomes a part of you. All right. It becomes a part of you. A lot of the things that we live in our lives, we are the ones that define whether it's negative or whether it's positive, based off of our mind. We're the ones that decide that. And you can decide that something is negative, something is positive. But I feel like if you learn something from whatever experience you have, whether it's something negative or if it's something positive, if you learn something from that, how can it be negative? If you get something good out of something, how can it be negative? You learned. That's a good thing. A lot of the things a lot of the way we live, the way we see things, our perspective, the way we perceive certain things, it's a lot. It has a lot to do with our minds. It does. And if you are a negative person, your year's going to be bad. Your year's going to be negative. Unless you tell yourself otherwise. Well, that's what I got for this one, guys. I hope that this year brings great joy and great accomplishments to you guys. I hope that this video was helpful in one way or another. And hey, like I said, if you fell off the wagon, get back on it. If you are feeling a little bit, a little, like you don't know how to feel about this upcoming year, be positive, guys. The way we think is definitely one big way, one super significant way that we can change. If you can change the way you see things, it almost seems like things change for you. You're just looking at it from a different angle, through a different lens. I hope this video helps you guys. I hope it encourages you. That's the idea with this one, all right? It's a new year. Just push it through, whatever goals you have set. Just, do whatever it takes to make them happen. This is the New Era Mindset. My name is Brian, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.